afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining the West Indies Cricket Development Academy channel this evening as we bring you news from the West Indies and also from world cricket. Please like this video, please share this video via your social media cricket groups, and also please share this video on the wider Facebook, Instagram, just about everywhere. Remember to subscribe, remember to like this video, and also comment. As you know, the West Indies is down in Australia. The West Indies is also in South Africa to participate in the upcoming Under 19 Cricket World Cup, which we believe they stand an awesome chance of winning. Now, the West Indies schedule for the Under 19 World Cup is as follow. Um, the West Indies warm-up game, the first match of their warm-up game will be on the 14th of January, starting at 3, starting at 4 a.m. Eastern Caribbean time and 3 a.m. Jamaican time for those that live in the Eastern Caribbean, and for those that live in the United States, um, the time will be for the United States will be 3 a.m. along with Jamaica, and for the rest of the Caribbean, the Eastern Caribbean, their time will be 4 a.m. because they are an hour ahead of us. And so the West Indies will be playing, the under 19 team will be playing New Zealand in their first warm up match, and that starts on the 14th. We also have another warm up match that will be the 16th against the Nepalian team, against Nepal. And that game starts at 4 a.m. Eastern Caribbean time and 3 a.m. Jamaica time. And so the first round, after we finish the two warm-up games, the first round of the ICC Under 19 World Cup starts for the West Indies in Group B, where they will face us, South Africa. Also, that game starts at 4 a.m. Eastern Caribbean time, 3 a.m. Jamaican time. Also, after we have taken on South Africa in our first group game in the World Cup, we also will be playing Scotland in our second game, and that's on the 24th, and the time is as the same, 4 a.m. Eastern Caribbean time, 3 a.m. Jamaica and American time. Then we will take on the hot favorites, which is England. It should be a terrific game that with the West Indies under 19 and England. Jordan Johnson is expected to score some beautiful runs, and that will close out the West Indies under 19 um, group games as follow. In South Africa, we will have to win if it's even two games to finish second in the group, because two teams from the group stage will go on to the next stage. So we certainly wish the West Indies under 19 team all the very best. Remember to subscribe to this channel. Remember to like the video and also share. As we told you at the top of the show, that the West Indies is in Australia for the upcoming two-match test series, and they had a very good game in the warm-up game against the Cricket Australia 11. And coming out of that game, the words of Craig Brathwaite, very happy with how all the guys went about the camp and went about this game. This time next week, it's about making West Indies proud. And of course, he went on for the first time. A West Indies captain gave a hint early in the piece that he already satisfied with his playing 11, and he already know his playing 11. So it's encouraging sign there from Craig Brathwaite. Tough talking to begin with for him, and the West Indies team, Tejnarain Chandapal, Kirk McKenzie, and he himself, Brathwaite, will need to step up to the plate in terms of runs. And we do wish them the best here at the Development Academy. Please remember to subscribe, remember to like this video, as we are committed to bring you news from the West Indies cricket team and also from the world of cricket, because we are about informing you with information about cricket. Now, let's look at the Under 19 World Cup as we continue to dive into it and the history of the Under 19 World Cup, the 15th edition. This is the 15th time at the ICC Cricket World Cup will be held, and the history of it is around the corner with emerging talents from 16 teams gearing up to compete for the coveted title in South Africa this year. The tournament began in 1988. If you did not know, this ICC Under 19 Cricket World Cup, which the West Indies won just one time under the captaincy of Sherman Etmire, it began in 1988 and it unearthed a lot of talent. And the tournament began in 1988 and has seen 7 different winners in the 14th edition so far. India lead with 5 titles to their name, followed by Australia 3, Pakistan 2, Bangladesh, South Africa, West Indies, and England win it one time each. So it is very good that your team, the West Indies, is a part of winning the ICC Under 19 World Cup along with some other big name teams. And the West Indies will, of course, look to win it the second time starting next week. And over the years, the tournament has gone through many itineration, providing a fundamental stage for many of the game's superstars. And the 1988 winners was Australia, of course, and they have done that superb in winning the inaugural edition of the Under 19 Men's Cricket World Cup, known as the Youth World Cup, was hosted to celebrate Australia pre-MNC. The tournament features 7 test playing nations alongside a composite team comprising ICC associate members. So the tournament has a rich history, and so that is one of the um, you know news in the cricketing world this week. Notable international stars. The class of 1988: Nasser Hussain, Michael Everton, Chris Crames, Mushtaq Ahmed, Sanat Jai Surya, and Brian Lara took part in the 1988 tournament. And of course, all of these names that I mentioned had marvelously scored many runs and batted superbly in their international career thereafter. And we believe that this year tournament will also produce a mammoth championship, guys, once more. As we dive continually into the world of cricket news, the first T20 cricket match as it happened with Afghanistan and India the other day. The Indian team went on to win the first of the ODIs, the T20 series with them and Afghanistan. And so India continued to dominate at home and against Afghanistan in the shortest format of the game internationally, and they had done pretty well there. There are big news coming out of Pakistan today with their former head coach and mentor, and that Mickey Arthur. reported that hostile environment in Adminajad. Ex-Pakistan team director Mickey Arthur described Cricket World Cup match versus India. So this is shocking news, very very shocking news coming out of the just concluded ICC um, Cricket World Cup that held in India, which Australia went on to win. Mickey Arthur making some stinging comments here, and notable the former Pakistan team director admitted that the ODI World Cup match against India at Aminajad was one of the toughest moments during his stint. So this is shocking revelation by the former Pakistan um, head coach Mickey Arthur. And as he continues to dive into some insight about that game, we look further. Pakistan former team director admitted that the ODI World Cup match against India at Adminajad was one of the toughest moments during his stint, taking the side through a hostile environment. Arthur moved on after Pakistan failed to reach the semi-final showpiece event last year, while former all-rounder Mohammad Hafiz replaced him in the role. It was extremely tough not having any Pakistan support. The one thing that really drives the Pakistan team is the incredible support that they receive at the grounds and hotel. Here we never had that, and that was quite tough in a World Cup, particularly for the players. Arthur was quoted as saying, um, on this, I think Mickey Arthur is just, making mischief, really giving a vague explanation about his final stint as the Pakistan team director and his failure of to the bringing Pakistan to the semi-final stage of that World Cup. And as you know, the upcoming ICC T20 World Cup in the West Indies and the USA and Canada will kick off the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2024 in Dallas. And the USA and Canada is ready to revive the 1844 rivalry at the T20 World Cup kickoff in Dallas on June 1, 2024. A little history about that. They were the first two teams to have played international cricket, and so this game will be a big game. It will be a rivalry between two countries that disregard the game of cricket, but certainly looking now to make a name for themselves in the world of cricket. The T20 World Cup, the biggest event in cricket's shortest format, will kick off in Dallas at the Grand Prairie Stadium with an iconic clash between the US and Canada on June 1. That should be an exciting game coming up. And another news in the cricketing world today, Pakistan and New Zealand in their first T20 international. New Zealand went on to win in a high scoring game, as you would know from various other news output. So, you know, those were the stories in the cricketing world today. Let's look at another story from the West Indies regarding the Darren Bravo saga, with him pulling out really of the rather. Let's look now at Guyana, at some news regarding the T20 World Cup in Guyana. And their Minister of Sport came out saying, not satisfied with caliber of T20 World Cup games allocated to Guyana. So Guyana is making some issue about the games that they would have gotten in the upcoming ICC Men's T20 World Cup. And this is his words as Guyana gears up to host 5 group stage matches and semi-final one of the International Cricket Council Men's T20 World Cup in June. Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport Charles Ramson Jr. has said that he's not satisfied with the quality of fixtures allocated to Guyana. The matches in Guyana begin on June 2 with West Indies taking on Papua New Guinea, while there are matches on June 3, Afghanistan versus Uganda, and June 5, Papua New Guinea versus Uganda, and June 7, New Zealand versus Afghanistan, June 8, West Indies versus Uganda, with the final set for June 26. That is the final game, which should be the semi-final on June 26. Ramsey, at the time addressing the media at a press conference held at the Arthur Chang Conference Center. So the Minister of Sport wanted presumably the final and wanted a few more games for Guyana. And as you know, Guyana and Barbados and Trinidad was competing for the final of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup, which Barbados edged them out and they were the winners there. And so they are making some noise about that and they are not happy regarding that. Another big news in West Indies cricket today, of the umpire, West Indies umpires Dougie and Gustard appointed for the ICC Under 19 Cricket World Cup. West Indian umpires Nigel Dougie and Patrick Gustard have been named among match officials appointed for the International Cricket Council Under 19 World Cup, scheduled from 19 to 11 of February in South Africa. Both Dougie and Gustard are among 16 officials that will stand in games during the youth showpiece, which will be played across 5 venues. And just to give you some more about umpire Dougie, 54 has already stood in one test, 15 one-day international, and 40 T20 international, while featuring as television umpire in 36 men's senior international. He will be involved in the January 20 contest between reigning champions India and Bangladesh. So that is increasing his caliber of games. Meanwhile, Gustard, which is 52-year-old, has never stood in a test nor a men's ODI, but has officiated in 29 T20 international and served as TV official in further 9. The Jamaican will join Mark Barnes and Field for the January 21 encounter between Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe. And so that rounds it out for news in the cricketing world regarding West Indies and international players and officials for this evening. We want to thank you for joining us. We're asking you to subscribe to the channel. Look in the descriptions below and make a donation and a contribution to West Indies Cricket Development Academy as we do our best to impact the lives of youth cricketers and increase participation in the sport here in the West Indies. Thank you for joining this evening. It was a pleasure being with you. And from me, your host and reporter, Junior Codlin from the West Indies Cricket Development Academy. Thank you for joining. Please remember to subscribe, like, and comment on this video. Goodbye for now.